Hi, everybody. It's Linda G coming to you from Sonoma County. Not too hot today, but it's going to be like 114 this weekend. Oh my gosh. So, you guys sent me a bunch of questions. I hope you caught my video with Mel this morning and with Tana. She had some classes she's doing and kind of cool. She has a cool setup. She knows what she's doing. I don't know if I think Marie Hamilton Tayo for her book, which is Memories and Mysteries of New England. In fact, I was brainstorming with Tana and, I'll get this book out by the beginning of next year. And then I should be able to do like more touring than having events or short little events, not things where you have to fly somewhere and stuff for very long in your town. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. So you guys sent 360 questions. So I used some of them for Mel. So be sure to watch Mel's show. And Jackie says, blessings, Linda. My question is, this Trump appointed judge in Florida appears to be granting the less than stellar legal team's revised motion for a special master to be appointed to go through documents. What's going on? The legal experts are saying it's very odd and unusual. Is this politically motivated? Absolutely, yes. She's a judge that was appointed by Trump. She's feeling she needs to do this. She allowed them time to resubmit the original documents filed. Wrong. They filed it wrong. Thank you. So I will tell you that, yeah, she's running a backwoods show, and it's not going to work. I don't know what the DOJ has already done and dusted. They've gone through everything. This is bigger than we think. This is much bigger. This is something that's been going on for a while. Trump has been in the middle of some espionage treason thing for a while. And so the fact that he went around to countries with boxes of classified information, what does that tell you? The fear aspect of him that I'm getting, I could be wrong, the fear aspect I'm getting is that he's in trouble. He's in trouble. So his name is on things that he knows is going to get him in huge trouble. Basically, he's a treason person, and he's going to get in trouble, huge trouble. And he knows this. So he's doing everything he can to try to upset the apple cart, but they've already got it. They're done and dusted. They've gone through everything. They've got some piled up to give back to him, but they're not even concerned about things we would be concerned about. They're concerned about treason, passing information to other people that we don't like. That's what he did. And they're all laughing at him, by the way. So it's not about wanting to sell more or give me that information because I'm going to sell it. It's more like he already gave out the information, and the paperwork, the paper trail leads to him, and that's what he's worried about. That's what I can tell you. That's the feeling that I got. So just know that that judge in Florida, it's just like a nothing burger is what I'm feeling. Even if they put someone else in there, it doesn't matter because the DOJ guy has got what they want. That's what I heard. Okay. So people are asking, Ronnie, thank you, Margaret. Ronnie Jackson, former physician for Trump and current Texas representative. Did he help plan January 6th? The Oath Keepers were overheard talking about protecting him because he had important information. He was part of this. He didn't actually start it up, but he was, he's a drunk. He was drunk with Rudy or something. He's not really, he knows the inside information, but he won't talk. He knows who's who, how they were supposed to do this. And this is another, we always think of Trump as being stupid, but really he is sort of illiterate in some ways. But my God, what a beautiful liar. I mean, he can spin things. Those people can just lie and spin things. That's him. And I feel like, he knew what January 6th, let me tell you right now, he would love a riot like George Floyd. He would love a riot in his name. He would eat it up, but nobody's going out for him. And just like Lindsey Graham said, let me tell you, if you arrest Donald Trump, there'll be something in the streets, another won't. There'll be a little bit, but not that bad. I'm telling you, it won't be that bad. You still have your cray-crays come out with a gun and think they're running the show, but he's not as beloved. Look at his Truth Socials going down because they can't pay the bills. He's going down, okay? So, enough said. Okay, so E. Ronelia said she wants to ask us about September and October hurricanes in Florida. So hurricane season is starting in September. It could have started in August, but it's starting up in September. I see more towards the Carolinas, and I see the Gulf of Mexico. Whoa. I don't know if it's this summer or next fall, or I see a rather large hurricane hitting where Mar-a-Lago is. So that's weird. One almost went there. But yeah, God, isn't that so underhanded how Jared got, what was it, $900,000 from PPPs? $900,000. And he didn't have to pay it back. Just like Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about these student loans, how disgusting it is. And then she, the White House said, oh yeah, by the way, Marjorie, you got 300,000 or something forgiven. It's just amazing. So, okay. Layla wants to know, I posted a similar question to Sterling. When my dad died, unlike my mother, every time I went home and touched a doorknob, I felt like I was suffocating. Also, I used to put flowers on the graves. No, normally I don't do personal questions, but I'll read this one. One day I was about to get the flowers because I love stories, especially spooky stories. One day I was about to get the flowers out of the car via the passenger side. A black dog came up behind me. I have a terrible fear of dogs ever since I was a child. I was bitten on my calf. Another neighbor's German Shepherd jumped the fence and almost bit my brother's heel off. And as a teen in the neighborhood, sliced her dog on me. I don't know what that means. He was all over me in a ditch. As she commanded the dog, as I bent to get the flowers, which were stacked to the roof, he growled. I was hyperventilating, but I knew there was nowhere to run. He finally left, and I saw him roll in the grass in the cemetery, along with another black dog, which appeared out of nowhere, but they looked identical. Finally, they left. I placed the flowers on my father's grave, located in front of my mom's grave, and I was about to place some on my mom's grave when the hair stood up on my neck. I felt as if someone was behind me. So I turned my head quickly to the right to see what appeared to be a brown shadow near the corner right eye. I turned quickly as I thought my sister-in-law sneaked up to play a trick on me. No one was there. I'd always been afraid of cemeteries since I was young, but after Mom died, I felt a sense of peace being there with her. This shadow frightened me so that when I arrived home, I looked up shadows at cemeteries. Can you please tell me why I felt I was hyperventilating whenever I touched a doorknob to their home? After my dad died and what was going in the cemetery that day, what I experienced worries me. I have not been back since my brother died a year ago. Wow. So I'm going to tell you that touching of the doorknob and feeling like you're hyperventilating is probably sensing spirits around. I don't necessarily think it's your parents. And also, I could hear your dad say, we're not even there in those graves, so don't worry about laying any flowers on us, is what he said. So, and the dogs is definitely because you had a terrible past life. There's so many people have phobias about dogs because of something that happened when they were young. And so just, if you can, breathe it in and breathe it out, but don't phobic on it. And don't worry about not going to the gravesite because they're not there. Okay. But you didn't mention, did you get rid of that house, or is that house still there? Anyway, I know in my dad's house that there was major, plus we had a ghost hunter people show up at the house when dad was in the hospital and we were in the garage. And there was profound experiences, date experiences we went through. So I would run in to do what I needed to get and run out because it was spooked. But what's so interesting is after he died, I never felt another thing in that house. And then my agent, real estate agent, came in. He was full of junk because dad was a hoarder. And she cleaned it out and spruced it up and it sold. And that house was a dump. But now it's like $1 million home. So anyway, okay. My dad really wanted us to keep the house and live in the house. You smile and say, sure. No, hell to the no. And being that he was deceased, you can sell it as is, and we was going to sell it as is. She said, I'll drop a few thousand in this. I think it was 40,000. She spruced it up, and that house, which we thought we'd be lucky to sell it for 200,000, this was years ago, went for 500,000 cash. Okay. Ron, please, thank you so much, Linda. Please reconfirm that we'll at least get the House in the midterms and expand the Senate. Absolutely guaranteed. Absolutely. And I think Congress is going to be good. I just want to wipe the smirk off of what's his face's name. What's his face? What is his name? Mike McCarthy. Kevin McCarthy. Yeah, we're going to win. We're going to win. No, you're not. And some people are changing their stance on abortion because they know that, remember when the abortion thing happened, I told everybody, they've just awoken the sleeping giant. The women will come out, and men too, and 1,000-fold, and say, no, you don't have any right to tell people what they can do in the privacy of their own bodies. Oh, this is a good one. Gina asked, if Trump were taken into custody, would it be at a modified Camp David? That's interesting. I never thought of that. Because I never saw him going to jail, but an institution of some sort feels right. Because he will be arrested. I'm telling you right now. Sorry. He's going to be arrested. I see things going out, indictments going out. And I don't care what Lindsey Graham says about riots. If I'm telling you what, if they arrest President Trump, there's a no. And listen, these guys that don't jump in with the fray, ain't nothing gonna happen. A few here and there. Because a lot of the powerful guys, or whatever they call the good old guys or whatever, a lot of these people got in trouble with January 6th, and Trump doesn't bail them out. So they may love Trump, but they're also not going to put their life out on the line. Okay. And don't forget my vision of Trump, like, I don't know if it's in a courtroom or something. It might be part of what they do on his trial or something. He has to announce that, in fact, the 2020 election was not stolen. He's going to say, though, he believed the Kraken and Giuliani. That's what he's going to say, that these other people told him it to be true. And he believed them. Because just now on Truth Social, I was looking at Twitter, he's announcing that, what did he say? It was hella funny. You guys would love it. He was announcing that something with, he is announcing that he knew he lost, is what he was saying. He lost to Biden because of some stupid thing. And then he's saying, well, there you go. We need to have another vote immediately. He'd still lose if another vote came out. So Liz, in answer to you, did Dump already give away some of the documents for entertainment purposes only? Absolutely guaranteed. And Putin was the first one standing there. I read a lovely lady the other day, and she was talking about her hometown. And apparently, it's not far from Mar-a-Lago. And I guess a neighbor or friend told them all this is back in 2016. She was at the grocery store. And she saw these black, Suburbans, like your Secret Service type of thing. And she thought that's weird. And she saw a lot of men around this very short man. So she asked the manager at the time, "Who's that?" And the manager said, "Oh, that's Putin. Bought an apple pie." And she said, "Really?" She didn't think much of it because Trump wasn't president yet. But Putin, that's strange. I wonder where he's going. Well, Mar-a-Lago is not far away, so I'm sure Putin was hanging out with Trump back in those days. Yeah, so that's what she said. So I thought that was kind of cool. Anyway, okay, Adrian, the new Madrid earthquake fault goes through Missouri, Illinois, and Arkansas. Past earthquakes have affected the Mississippi River in a big way. Do you see any upcoming issues in these states from bad earthquakes or floods? I see floods. I see floods. Right now, I'm not seeing earthquake, but I'm seeing floods. And let me tell you guys something else. Have you watched that Dr. What's his name? He did a show with, I just went totally blank. Hold on one second. The End is Nigh is the name of it. It's on Sci-Fi. It's having an event every night, and you've got to watch it. It's up there. I think they've already had 4. I didn't watch last night, so I'll watch it today after this. Absolutely excellent. And he talks about Armageddon type end of the world stuff, but he talks about how science can create ways to prevent this. Like he was even talking about Armageddon hurricanes. And he said, if you put those wind things that they do to get power out in the ocean, like you do a line of them, as best as you can out in the ocean, they can literally stop a category 5 in its tracks. Who knows how, but that's what he's talking about. He was talking about volcanoes and about how the one in Montana is supposed to blow. And he was talking about using hydro, the steam from the middle of the earth. He said that's constant. The only side effect about drilling for that to make electric and all that is that the side effect is steam, and that can hurt you, and it never stops because the earth is basically a radioactive ball with this lava it's got all these nutrients in it because every time a volcano goes, oh, sorry, don't know what's happened here. Sorry. I don't know what happened. That's weird. Might have been when I looked up Dr. Nye and that might have been the opening. So he's talking about using hydro fuel or, the power of the middle of the earth, which also helps release some of the pressure via volcanoes. And also we could end up having better methods of predicting before a volcano hits. Put seeds away, put this away, you know what I'm saying, and help people. But you guys have to watch it. I'm telling you, I watched it from beginning to end. It has some commercials, which I fast forward, and I just love it. It's fantastic. Okay. KD wants to know, can I see Trump's other homes getting searched? New York has already been searched. Don't ask me why I know that. Oh my God, they are putting in all kinds of hearing devices. They're watching him like a hawk. I'm going to tell you. While they were there removing stuff, I wonder if they put in devices. Because they can get into your camera system and everything. So I'm feeling like he doesn't have any secrets that they don't know about. What they're doing right now, let me tell you guys, and mark my words on this, what they are doing right now is they're gathering together and they're trying to figure out the best way to arrest him and the best way to shut him up. Because what he's doing is he's creating all this nonsense. basically demanding, including Lindsey Graham, demanding people go to the streets, which is not, that's seditious. It's not right. So he's in trouble. He's in big trouble. Okay, hold on. So what do you want me to tell everybody? How long before we see that trouble has begun? How long till we see that trouble has begun? You know, my time frames are no good. Angel of Light says patience. It's like in a month, a day, a month, a year, but probably at least a week. The Angel of Light and Mercy means patience. Everybody's going to love the information that comes out. And what happens is, as he's screaming, he's losing his voice. I see him yelling and carrying out. As you know, his True Social isn't able to pay their bills. I know Devin Dooms wishes he hadn't popped over there. It's just slowly but surely drowning. He's drowning. And he wants so desperately to get back into office so he can try to hurt people and do terrible things. He's the type, if he became president again, but he wouldn't have enough Republicans in the Congress or anything, he would try to remove the DOJ or put someone in there worse than Barr. Okay. So we talked about the special master. Okay, a lot of thank yous. Thank you, you guys. Thank you, Judith. Okay, so this is interesting. Alice said, will he be committed to a military hospital or someplace military? And I would not doubt that. I don't get a no, like when I heard that he wasn't going to jail and everybody's all upset. What do you mean? He can't go with the regular public in a jail situation. But he could go in something like I just don't see him in a regular population. But he's just going to go straight downhill. Yeah, that's true. Stephanie wrote, hi, Linda. Are the Dems finally learning from repubes that elections are won more on emotions than 50-page dissertations? And that even when they make good laws, the people have to know and understand what they did. Absolutely, Steph. And if you'll notice, our president is getting a little bit more, you know, he called them fascists. Oh my God, I can't believe you called us a fascist. Oh my God. But in the meantime, he can be in office and call Democrats communists. That's okay, but don't you dare call us anything. Oh, did you see Don Jr.'s girlfriend said, MAGA is winning. Oh my God, they get so desperate. Let me tell you guys, and we can't be gleeful about this and for entertainment purposes only, but we cannot be gleeful. The end is nigh. The end is coming, you guys, but we have to understand that part of this was what we were supposed to go through. Hopefully we learned our lesson. I worry about the Dems taking over 100% because we kind of need that offset, but they're making people so mad. It's ruining the Republican. It's ruining them. Nobody trusts them. There's some good Republicans out there though. Steph wants to know, do you see the drought situation improving it for the U.S.? Absolutely, yes. But it's because of more flooding. But there will be some things going on right now. And also there's a big fire in Arizona. Not Arizona, in Oregon. Tell me about that fire in Oregon. Is it going to be okay? They're throwing as much as they can towards it. Yeah, that should be done and dusted by the end of September. Or in the month of September. Okay. take a look. Gwen wants us to take a look at the Mar-A-Lago tunnels down below. And they've been there for a while, I think even before he was there. I could be wrong, but I think they were there before he was there. It might even been during Prohibition. Boats could come up and take liquor in. But the tunnels, yeah, I see maybe even Putin used the tunnels to get in there. He didn't want to be seen. But he had some traders in there. And he just wanted to be loved and just pass some money, and he'd shut up and mind his own beeswax. Okay. What do you see for teachers in the next couple of years? You know what's interesting, and thank you for that question, Juju. I think they said 60,000 teachers. I heard 30 and then I heard 60, but it's a lot of teachers have left. And I don't blame them. There's nothing in it. First of all, you got to use your own money. And then what? The IRS said they'd give them a $30 break. And, you know, what a job. It's a hard job. And I don't blame people, especially once COVID hit. And then you get these cray-crays in there saying, oh, the parents can decide what kids can read. Like we don't have internet, kids can read anything they want anyway. What's the outcome for teachers? It's really hard. Like people with money can send their kids to private schools, but the whole education, all of education is going to be totally changed. Maybe even within 5 years. The way we do education will be changed. The societal or the mixing of people together is important. But they're really going to concentrate on what clicks with the students. Because too many kids just go in it and get through it and could care less about learning anything. Because they present it, they put one round peg in a square hole and they can't make it fit because each kid has their own different abilities. But you can't personalize each one, but you can get a little bit more. Like my son had a real hard time in school. He was straight A's in science and math, but he hated history and English. And he would get F's because he just wouldn't do the work. And then they put him, because they knew he was bright, they put him what they call a NOVA program. And in NOVA, it's one teacher for a student with all their stuff they're supposed to do. And this teacher was able to give more time to each student and actually care about getting the work done. And my son just, boom, that was his calling. He doesn't he's kind of timid and he gets anxiety and he doesn't like being left behind. And he went out there and just, boom, he won. In fact, I have a certificate signed by President Obama, the Outstanding Scholastic Improvement Award that they gave two to each school for the kids that got the most outstanding scholastic, and you know what I'm talking about, achievement. And that was my son, Jake. He won. But then he didn't want to go to graduation. I think the school was mad because they were going to present him with this award. But my kids could care less about, you know, proper things like high school graduation. No, my kids weren't into that. Some parents are into it and they really force their kids into it, but not my kids. They didn't want to have anything to do with it. Okay. Yeah, 2023, Jane. She's asking, do I see all this drama, especially with Trump going away? Let's look at Ukraine real quick. So what's going on with the Ukraine? Let's look at that nuclear site too. It's going to be like 114 degrees this week. My doors will be closed, my windows will be shut, and you will not hear from me, not one word. Will you hear from me? No. Okay, so tell me about the Ukraine. How are they doing? Do they need to sit down and wait for it? They're still struggling, okay? Justice is coming, all right? They're fighting hard, but they're going in the right direction. They're passionate still about what they need to do. They got that evil person working on them. Money and goods are still coming in. They have the bird of paradise on their shoulder. Maybe even September, we're going to see some better news. But you notice we're not hearing about the United States sending this or so-and-so sending this. I always thought they shouldn't be talking about that out loud because it pissed off Putin. And sure enough, they kind of stopped talking about it. For a while they had generals on the shows talking about what they were doing and why they were doing it. And it's like, why are you giving out secrets? It just wasn't right. So they shut everybody down. So tell me about Putin. What's going on with Putin? Tell me about Putin. Now he's going to be gone. I'm going to tell you right now. He was trying to blame Ukraine for that girl that died, but that was actually Russians who were part of this organization that got rid of that. They wanted to get rid of the guy, but they accidentally got rid of the girl. Yeah, Putin's getting ready to implode. He's just really going to be upset. There's nothing here. He's hated throughout the world. He's not well. And he's taking people out of prison, anyone from age 18 to 60, to fight in the war, but they could care less. Sure, they'll say, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And then they'll go and take off or join the Ukraine. Okay, so let me ask you. I want to ask about that nuclear site. Do we have any reason to worry about the nuclear site? I just heard yes. Oh, no. Do we have any reason to worry about the nuclear site? They're saying that Putin would love for it to implode. He doesn't even care about the people that are in there that belong to him. They would love for it to implode and blame the Ukraine. Tell me about the nuclear site. Do we have reason to worry? Yeah, because a madman is running it. There's some negotiation that's going to happen. There's going to be something else, maybe some bombing or something. I see people running around. I see some people getting sick, but it's not going to be Armageddon. It's a slight leak of some sort. So that'll take place. You know, just with that NATO should come in and just start taking over. But I see that it's a stupid thing. It feels like something somebody does deliberately. And he's going to try to blame the Ukraine, which everybody knows Ukraine would not want to hurt their people. So it's not going to work for him. But it's something small, not Armageddon, not horrible. Okay. Diane wants to know, will Trump threaten to release information if he's found guilty of treason? Yeah, he'll do a lot of threatening, but he's going to be shut down. I'm telling you, they're listening to every phone call, everything he's doing. They might even set him up for a fall. Like they might get a fake thing like, hey, you know, I have all this cash. What do you think? And they'll work behind scenes to set him up for something. That's what I just saw, like a setup. Okay. Now, the Key West, the Mar-a-Lago Tunnels, I'm not seeing trafficking minors because I don't see, if he traffics minors, it's not through Florida. I don't know why. I don't get that. Oh, thank you. Oh my God, Maria says, I love the Ghost Brothers too. They are so cute. Oh my God. And they're funny. These three men, they're so gorgeous and they're so funny. I sit and laugh because they be like, you cray. You know what I'm saying? They talk my language. And God, I would volunteer to be a psychic medium on their show. No charge. I'd pay for my own flight because they are hysterical. And you know, they'd be cracking up on me too. There's another new show that out that I was like sitting, not holding my breath. I'll have to look it up for you guys. It's some sort of ghost thing, and it was actually pretty good. Um, I got tired of ghost shows, you know. After a while, it's the same thing, different day. But they got a couple of fresh new shows that I like. Oh yeah, there's a earthquake hitting the West Coast. Now listen, I met a real nice girl who's a real good psychic who says she thinks it's a pretty good size hit in my area soon. I don't get that. I see Central America, but I don't see like half the California diving into the earth, into the ocean. Sorry, so I don't get that. But usually right before something big, I'll feel it. I'll get that panic feeling, like I did with the Ukraine. Donna, yes, Hillary will be acknowledged as the actual 45th president because Putin helped slide Trump in there. He did not win without cheating. That's why he was always, oh no, I won by a landslide. No, you didn't, sir. You did not. Don't worry about the Colorado River. Yeah, right now it's everything's drained, but we're getting big rain and maybe even by December on. Maybe by this spring I see good size rain. Oh, Linda, she's asking about a Missouri, Monroe County. Betty Hayes disappeared December 16th, 2021. Yeah, someone feels like they took her. Someone feels like they killed her and took her body and put it somewhere. Someone, so that's what I'm getting. And don't forget, when we get to governor races and other things, I get a list of the Democrat and the Republican, and then I go through and I post it. So I don't, because people were saying, but I thought you said DeSantis going to lose, and then I was picking up, was going to, yeah, was going to lose, and then I was picking him up winning. Wait till I get more into October. That's when I'll do the list. That's when I'll hit. So it's too confusing for everybody that's saying, oh, well, so and so over here or so and so over there. It's easier for me to just do it. Now, my friend that works in the political arena, part of the reason she started following me is that she saw my list and it was like, okay, so she's 86% correct. And then I got the two Georgian senators correct. And then she said, oh my God, Linda, you're 90. So they kind of watch me now. They kind of say, well, what does Linda say? But it's easier for me to do it when we're coming up to the day. And I have another friend sending me some California people, which wouldn't have much to do with you guys. So I'll sit down and do those on my own. Um, oh, wow, that's interesting. Cheryl wants to know, will there ever be a device to alert birds to oncoming threats like airlines? Yeah, there's going to be something. It's some sort of sound thing they're going to do that repels the birds to go the other way. Um, yeah, that you guys, I got about 10 questions in here about that judge get for a master thing. She's doing that for Trump. But don't worry, even if she does it, the DOJ already knows what time of day it is. Cat Funk just said, thank you from Morgan for being so good to us all. We love you. Just asked if Donald Trump has served an indictment this week I'm polishing up my dancing shoes and getting ready for the biggest dancing street party ever. That's so cool, Cat Funk. Remember when I said they'll be dancing in the streets? And then somebody just showed it on Twitter that all the dancing that happened in the streets when they announced Biden won. You know, Trump would love a George Floyd riot. He would love if people came out and fought for him like we did for George, you know, for justice. And it's just not going to happen. You know, that January 6th was as close as he's going to get. And he loved it. He sat in that room and watched that, and all those people were there for him. If he could, you know what? Remember, he didn't want them to go through the scan, and he didn't want them to get rid of their guns, and he wanted to be there with them going up. Notice his big mouth talking about, no, I didn't tell the Secret Service to take me there. Yeah, he did. You could see him in the car grabbing that guy. I need to go to the Capitol, and the Secret Service refused to take him there. So he's going down, you guys. But he would have gone in the front of that and walked into that. The thing is, he wouldn't have been able to control that crowd. They would have really started. They would have hurt. It would have been people killed. It would have been people killed. And by the grace of God, did you hear that the electoral votes that were all together, somebody saw that at the last minute and grabbed it and ran with it? Because if they had gotten hold of it, they would have destroyed it. So thank you guys for all the love too. Thank you for all the questions. My God. Nancy said, do you have a feeling that 45 told Russia to start the war in Ukraine? Nope. Putin wouldn't listen to him no matter what. Putin doesn't like him, but Putin uses him. And there's nothing about Trump telling Putin start a war that he would listen to. Putin is upset he didn't start taking over Ukraine when Trump was in office, because Trump would have done nothing about it. Okay. Yeah, Karen says that Adam Schiff was talking about, worried about if Trump digitalized classified documents, and it wouldn't have been Trump doing that because he doesn't know how to do that. Someone else would have done it for him. There's some bigwigs around him that have ratted, and that upsets him even more. He needs to know the names of those people. He wants to out them, I'm telling you. And as it is, there's probably some agents out in the field. Remember, I told you before all this came out in public, people were saying, intel in different areas were saying there's a mole, somebody's outing us, because there was a couple of people killed. This is entertainment purposes only, and the information I'm getting is that there were a couple of agents killed, gotten rid of. So that's all on Trump. So this stuff is going to be coming out, and he's going to have to pay the piper. You guys are asking a lot of questions about the tunnels. I'm not seeing anything big with the tunnels, but I could be wrong, you know. And Cindy, I'll look at Sarah Palin as we get closer. And please send prayers out for Beto. He has an infection. He's going to be okay. And I have a client whose daughter Sarah is having a double mastectomy tomorrow. She got a nasty form of cancer. So we need to pray for her daughter Sarah. That all the doctors and everyone working around her really help Sarah recover in the most benevolent outcome. Interesting. Mary said, inquiring minds want to know if smoking medical marijuana inhibits manifestation and our connection to source. I know dropping acid doesn't. I've heard that mushrooms and acid can really connect you. But I think pot does. You know, pot can, it's okay, but it's not I think it interrupts with our abilities to be fresh and whole within our communication. Not that smoking pot, you can smoke it all you want. I'm just saying if you're trying to ground and be connected, even drinking isn't necessarily helpful. Um, blah, blah, blah. So I'm not going to answer a question about elections, but I'm going to get them all together and do that in October. Ooh, Andrea says, a couple of weeks ago, I had a dream about having the power to heal people. Same dream twice, a week before the first. What does it mean? Well, Andrea, you probably were a healer in a life before. It's probably a dream of a past life thing. I think you have the gift. I don't know if you carried it with you in this lifetime, but I definitely see you have the gift. Carol wants to know if Jared Kushner is behind Save the Classified and Sell. I see him talking to Trump. I think he knows all about it. My answer to that is yes. Will Rick Perry be investigated for his? I definitely see Glenn Kushner not Glenn Kushner. What's his name? Sorry about that, Glenn, not Glenn Kushner. I see Rick Perry and I see Flynn. I see trials for them. Look at these trials and stuff are going to go on for several years. A lot of people are going to pay the price. So, you guys are asking about the grave. I think there could be stuff in the Ivana's grave, but I don't see them opening it up right now, or it could be years down the road and they do. This whole Trump family's going down. Oh, it's really ugly. It's going to be ugly, you guys. I'm so, it'll be sad because a lot of the stuff that Trump touched is already out of our hands. So he's already caused so much damage and we will be able to fix it. But still, it's just one thing after the other. It's just amazing how much happened. They're going to actually have new laws and new ways of handling classified information because of him. And the other thing is he had his family work for him and they were not able to be cleared for security, but he made them give them the top clearance available. And that'll be outlawed, okay? But here they are, and the American people are allowing his family, who for whatever reason, their background checks wouldn't allow them to have top clearances. And the president says, give it to them anyway. Just like he says, I could just declassify anything I want. Bye, you're going. So you guys, I'll talk to you again in a few days by the end of the week. I wish you all happiness and love, and we shall meet up. Cheers.